Greetings, Master, and thank you for sparing the time to discuss some important matters with me today.
You're most welcome. It's nice to meet you, and I would like to hear what concerns you today.
As we all know, there are mainly two theories when it comes to the origins of the universe. One of creationism, stemming from a religious perspective, and then the scientific theory of the Big Bang and evolution. According to Buddhism, which one of these holds true? Or has the Buddha given a different explanation?
I understand your inquisitiveness on the subject. One time or the other, all humans would question not only their own existence, but the creation of the world and universe we live in. But I must say that when it comes to Lord Buddha, he viewed this question as one of the unanswerable questions, as it distracts one from the attainment of self-liberation. Accordingly, when questioned one day by a disciple, he related the parable of the poisoned arrow, which goes like this. A man was once wounded with an arrow, which was thickly smeared in poison. So a surgeon was brought in to remove the arrow and cure him. But he refused to let the surgeon do his job until he knew the following. He wanted to know if the man who wounded him was a warrior, a priest, a merchant, or a worker. He wanted to know the name of the man and the name of the clan the man represented, if he was short, tall, stout, or thin, and whether he was dark-skinned, light-skinned, or of a golden color.
Those are definitely some interestingly strange questions for a dying man to ask.
Yes, as you can see, his focus wasn't on getting the arrow removed and being healed or liberated from his pain, but rather on unnecessary things. If he continued insisting on getting to know all the information first before getting the arrow removed, he would die for sure. And of course, he would never get to know the answers to his questions either.
Yes, I understand, Master. What the Buddha preached is right, but again, aren't we avoiding the answer here? What I mean is, from a scientific point of view, looking for insightful answers to such difficult questions can open us to other fascinating discoveries as well, which would be beneficial to us all.
Yes, you're correct. So, in essence, the Buddha preaches that a person should only worry about things that are in their control instead of things that are not. This is because the Buddha's main philosophy is of self-liberation, and he advises his followers to stick to what is important spiritually, rather than chase something that is incomprehensible, with no conclusion in sight. This especially holds true when we question the start or end of the universe, or life itself for that matter. But for a person who is dissatisfied with the answer, he also gave a more detailed explanation that, quite interestingly, aligns to a high degree with the current scientific theories as well.
Very interesting. Now I'm keen to know what the Buddha's knowledge is on the matter. Please continue, Master.
That's great. So in the Agganna Sutta, the Buddha describes the universe in a way that is both poetic and surprisingly structured. He explains that the cosmos doesn't appear once and then sit still forever. Instead, it moves through enormous cycles of creation, existence, decline, and destruction, stretching over time spans so long they're almost impossible to imagine. The Buddha begins with the collapse of the universe, the phase known as the Samvatakappa. During this period, the world slowly dissolves, land disappears, the oceans dry up, even the sun and moon fade away. Eventually, there is no earth, no sky, and no physical life at all. Only beings from higher realms remain. He doesn't give a specific number of years, but later Buddhist traditions compare this collapse to a period lasting over 1 billion years, so long that human measurement becomes meaningless. What matters is not the number, but the vastness. After the world collapses, there is a long period of emptiness. No continents, no oceans, no humans or animals. Just a silent universe waiting for new conditions to arise. This rest-in phase is said to last just as long as the collapse, again, unimaginably long. Then comes the creation phase, the Vivajjakapa. Here, the universe slowly reforms. First, light appears, then water forms, land rises from the oceans, the sun and moon shine again. And as the world stabilizes, a kind of natural, nourishing substance forms on the early earth. Once these conditions appear, luminous beings from a higher realm, the Abhasara Brahma world, descend into this new universe. They are radiant, floating beings with no hunger, no gender, and bodies made of subtle light. But over time, curiosity and desires awaken. They taste the sweet earth essence, and the moment they do, their bodies become heavier. They lose their radiance, they become more physical, hunger appears, sexual characteristics emerge, and this marks the beginning of human physical existence. As beings become more human, society begins to form. Agriculture develops, people claim land, some hoard food, others steal, conflict appears, so communities agree to choose a leader, someone to maintain order. The Buddha uses this moment to make a profound point. Social classes were not created by gods. They arose naturally from human actions and choices. Over millions of years, the world continues to change. People live, learn, build, fight, and decline. And eventually, through the slow erosion of moral and environmental conditions, the universe moves again toward collapse. The cycle restarts: creation, existence, decline, destruction, then creation again. Endless, beginningless. Driven not by a creator God, but by causes and conditions, and deeply influenced by morality and consciousness. So the Buddha's message is clear. The universe is vast beyond our imagination, but understanding its cycles helps us understand our own lives. Everything changes. Everything depends on causes. And our actions, good or bad, shape not only our future, but the conditions of the world we share together.
For me, that is definitely a new view of how the universe came to be, Master. I would like to look into this further. It seems that the Buddha's view almost aligns with the current scientific view of the origins of the universe as well. What do you think?
Yes, in a poetic way, what the Buddha preached 2,500 years ago is not far from how modern cosmology describes the universe. After the Big Bang, there was only radiant plasma, then cooling, then clumping, followed by stars forming, galaxies spinning into shape, planets condensing from dust. But the Buddha's story isn't astronomy, though it is a story of cosmic evolution from light to matter to life. And the Buddha's teaching follows the same current scientific rhythm. When he preached that, the world contracts and expands again, again, and again, with no discoverable beginning.
Thank you, Master. That was such an eye-opener. I hope that we meet again to discuss such fascinating matters.